Hello, everybody. Another episode of Reality Is where words come to life. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and hit that notification bell so you can know when another video is being uploaded. So, as I've said, I keep my word, and every time I get an update, some people may like to see this video, some people may not view it, and I'm okay with that. I'll keep posting it until I get my point across. So, recently I found out that the number of COVID-19 um, positive cases is going up in Cook County Jail. And again, they still have the petition out for the officers. Tom Dart is not listening, and neither does he care. Tony Prepwinkle is not listening, and neither does she care. Um, and those who are positioned in power to make a difference need to step to the plate and make a difference. Because if you don't, you cannot continue to justify what goes on inside of Cook County Jail. The curtains have been drawn, the shades are being pulled on a lot of things. And you all, as elected officials, need to understand that it's time out for the foolishness. You all want to sit in these seats, you want to occupy the office, and then you want to sit and pretend like you all are doing such a grand job of making sure that things are running efficiently, and they are not. At the same time, you're making sure that your families are okay. So where is the lack of care? Where's the lack of concern? You have officers working. If those officers don't work, then is Tom Dart or Tony Prepwinkle going to go in there and man those inmates? What are you going to do? If your officers start falling off sick in mass numbers, what will you do next? What will you do next? What elected official is bold enough to put on a uniform and go in there and stand guard and watch? None of you all are. No commissioners, no mayors, no governors, no state representatives, no Congress, no Senate, no aldermen, nobody, no state's attorney is willing to go in there and man those inmates. But you have people who is bold enough and has taken on a position to do what you all are not willing to do. And you have no regard for their safety or their health or the potential safety of their families. What's the disconnect here? And neither do you care about the inmates. You all are stalling the process. Why? Why is this process being stalled? Now, we have Chief Justice Timothy Evans. If you write him, he says he can't make decisions or he can't tell the judges what to do. So why are you the chief judge? What's the purpose of your seat? Then if you don't have no power, no pull, then maybe you need to relinquish your seat and let it go. Because you have some power and some pull, and nobody's asking you to make a decision on anything. What people are asking is for you all to be fair in your decisions, but you're not fair. See, election time comes up, and again, as I've stated, you all want to run the resume of the things that you want to do. You want to do prison reform. You want to help upbuild the community. You want to pour back into the community that's been less fortunate, and they're not being the people in the community are not being taken care of as they should be. Gentrification in those communities. You let investors come in and purchase property, and they never fix up the property. And it's only in the community in which we reside in. The money never goes in that community. It goes in the others' communities, but it never goes in there. And then, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, our prison system, because it mostly occupies 90+% of ethnic races, you don't care about that neither, because there's no white folks in there. If it was half white and half black, I'm sure it would be clean. I'm sure there would be masks, there would be sanitizing. I'm sure the white officers would be taken care of. I'm sure they would have microwaves, clean bathroom, and much better food served to them. I'm sure medical care would be up to par because white people would be in there. You would make sure that's done. And that's a reflection of you all who sit in the seat. So then maybe we need to revoke your black cards too. You don't need them because you lied and you said what you was going to do, and we still haven't seen no results of that. We have not. These prisons across land and country, people are fighting everywhere for the reform, and it has not taken place. I've sat on in meetings. I've even been down to offices to talk about it, and it still has not taken place. Tom Dart, as I said before, got on TV and made this big old spiel to oh, we have plenty of space to make sure that everybody is social distance and everybody is cared for. Use a lie. When another officer tells an inmate, take your soap and towel that you bought that with the money that your family sent in and clean your cell, that's sad. That is sad. When I sit in a courtroom and I see ants and bugs running around the courtrooms, that's sad. What are you all doing with the money that you get? What? Because you charge fees for everything. Attorneys have to pay for filing fees. They have to pay for court fees. And then the family had to pay for private attorneys. They have to pay for that commissary because you don't give them anything. You give them a cot and that's it. Whatever else they have to pay for. And if they don't have the support from a family member, how do they survive in them? Hence why so much anger and frustration. And then you let these individuals sit. And you let them sit. And you let them sit. And we don't have enough evidence. And we need to do this and we need to do that. You can find evidence for what you want to find evidence for. And what you want to stall, that's what you stall for. So I have no faith in this system whatsoever. I have no faith in our elected officials whatsoever. You all do a good talk. And you think you're very convincing, but you're not. Because action will show different. Nobody should have to put out a petition for the protection of Cook County officers inside the jails. Family members should have to write and keep pressuring and pushing for fairness inside the judicial system. We should have to push to make sure that you all serve them food and not dog food. We should have to push to make sure that they get proper equipment like microwaves and decent mattresses to sleep on. We should have to push for that. We should have to push to make sure that those facilities are clean and up to par. And hand sanitizer. We should have to push for that when you all get tax dollars for all this stuff. And then you get a double whammy because if something happened to the prisons, then it'd take you forever to contact the family. And you all come with this bullshit ass excuse of why they passed. When you know why they passed. When an inmate is living inside the jail and they have been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and you don't see the need to let them live out their last days trying to get the things that they need. Because when you all go to these prisons, they let y'all asses out to go home for your last days. They let y'all out for the littlest of things. But it's, oh, I get it now. It's because they're white folks. They get to get out. They get to go home. And they don't go home with ankle bracelets. They get to go home. And they have broken the law. Why is it that you all see it's okay to treat them nicely and you dog out the ethnic race? You dismantle the family on purpose. You do. It should not take 2 years to bring a case to close. It shouldn't. If you have everybody on that case, you have pulled every camera, you know what's going on, then it should not take you that long to close the case. The state's attorney, you're at fault too. The judge, you're at fault too. This is a bunch of bullshit. And I'm just going to call it what it is. It's a bunch of bull. And people are tired. I hear these stories all the time. How people are sitting and they're waiting. So much so that they decide to take their own life because they feel like they have no win. They have no win. When you decide to label somebody with all the facts. And let me ask this question. What's the purpose of conceal and carry if it carries no weight for a black person? It only carries weight for a white person. So white people can defend themselves. And as we saw on social media, the couple who had the rifles pointing at the protesters, they didn't go to jail. And they had them pointed with the intent to kill. So how do you justify the laws of you holding people without being found guilty or innocent? How do you justify that? How do you justify that? Explain to me, because I really want to know. How do you justify it? How? And Governor Pritzker, I hold you just as much accountable too, because you have a say-so as well. You do. And Kim Fox, I understand that you running your resume for office to return to your seat. I get that. But you talk about prison reform, you have not done anything neither. Y'all ain't closed no cases. You all are stalling. You're stalling. You can do the Zoom. There's many ways to get these cases off the books, but you don't want to. You don't want to. Why is that? Why does it take so long for things to come to closure in the judicial system when it comes to an ethnic race? Why? You justify what you want to justify. You do what you want to do. And you wonder why people are aggravated, irritated, and frustrated with this system. I've just explained why. Because it's not fair. And it's truly blind. And the scales are truly broken. There are people have sat in jail for years and decades that was innocent. That was innocent. And why do we as an ethnic race have to fight 5 times as hard to prove our innocence? And if you've never been in trouble before, you're thrown in maximum security. You've never been in trouble before. Don't know nothing about the person, but you throw them in maximum security. And you don't let them out at all. Because you say they're a threat to a society. Well, I say the judges are a threat to society. I say the police that don't follow the laws in which they was sworn to follow is a threat to society. I say every elected official that does not do what they should do and be fair and transparent is a threat to society. So you want to talk about a threat to society? You all are a threat to society. And we are sitting in these positions because of you. Because you don't want to do what's right to do. Stop stalling these cases. Timothy Evans, if you don't want to hold the chief on the front of your name, then resign from your seat and move on. Because you have the power to do a lot of stuff. And I know people have written you a lot of letters and you talk a good talk, but you don't follow up. You pass it on to your administrator to answer. You send scripted letters back to people when they send you something. We're not tolerating that anymore, and we're calling you out. And today, you are being called out, Chief Judge Timothy Evans. You can no longer sit in the corner and hope things just go away, because they're not going away. They're not. And MacArthur Foundation, shame on you for pouring money into something that has not come to light. And we have not seen no difference whatsoever. Innocent Project, I commend you. I commend a lot of these organizations that are stepping up to the plate. But there's a lot of organizations that say they represent prison reform, just walking in name only. And that's it. Enough is enough. And we are tired. And anybody I come across, I'm advising them to write, email, and even use social media, because we're tired. And we should not have to push this hard for justice. White people don't push this hard. They don't get as much, and they do twice as much as ethnic races do. They pay people to let their kids go to school, and they get 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Officers have killed people, and the line that they used because they was fearful of their life. And they went home on video and showing that they actually shot and killed somebody. And the only reason the 17-year-old is in custody is because people pushed. But I'm sure they would let him go home too. And some of those in the White House that was locked up just went to jail. Didn't stay there long. And they felt like, because of COVID-19, we didn't let them go home. But when it comes to the black people and when it comes to the other ethnic races, we can't let them go home because we are fearful of what they're going to do. And you all are just as dangerous as the ethnic race, but you're sneaky with yours. You're very tricky with yours, and you get others to go along with your plans. And we the sneaky ones. We're the crooked ones. Really? Are we really? Or is this system that we call judicial the crooked one? Maybe we should have trials for you all. We should sit you on the stand and dig in your life and see if you're worthy to hold those seats. Because right now, from where we're sitting and from everything that we see on TV and how it's being played out, you judges don't need to hold no seat. A 5-year-old can do much better than what you're doing. And then you justify it by hiding behind the gavel in the gear that you wear. And you say, it's all in the name of justice. And it's all in the name of just us. Black people, ethnic people. See, the justice only happened for white people. It don't happen for black people. But we're tired. And as I've stated before, I'm going to keep making these videos until we see a change. And every time you run a resume for something that you say you're going to do and it don't get done, I'm calling you all out. Every step of the way, you all are getting called out because I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing mothers cry. I'm tired of seeing children cry because their parents are not there and you all don't care. And then all you can say, we're working on it. We're doing the best we can. That's some bullshit. You can do better. You expedite stuff when it comes down to the white folks. Expedite everything else. And if you can't expedite that, expedite your asses out the seat. How about that? And that's where I'm going to leave it at. Expedite your asses out to sea. Tom Dart, Tony Prepwinkle, I don't want to hear nothing you have to say. You can't tell me anything, not one thing, of what you're doing for the state of Illinois. Cook County Board President. And you and Tom Dart name is sitting boldly outside. Boldly. And the conditions inside is horrible. Your officers are living in fear. Your inmates are scared, and rightfully so. You all don't care, but y'all walk y'all ass up to these mic in front of these cameras like you're doing a fantastic job, and you're not doing nothing but lying. And enough is enough. Okay, that's my spiel for today. Another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life, as you can see, and ain't no sugarcoating, and it's 100%. We ain't got to worry about the media editing out anything because we're going to keep it real on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe, leave your comments, and hit that notification bell. All right? Till we talk again. Have a good one.